Hi, today we're going to be going over comprehensive exams and academic writing. The first thing we're going to talk about is comprehensive exams and case studies. Why do we have comprehensive exams? There's really two things. One is we want you to demonstrate your knowledge, the mastery of what you've learned both in the leadership core and in your concentration area. We want you to be able to go into depth, but we also want you to be able to show that you have the breadth of what you have learned. So everything that you've learned throughout the program, we want you to be able to demonstrate that. So to do that, we have created a comprehensive exam that should allow you to use both theory and application. We also want you to demonstrate that you're ready to write a dissertation, that you have the organizational skills, the academic writing skills, the analytical and integrative skills that are necessary to write a dissertation. Written and oral comprehensive exams. So you're going to have a little bit of both. This demonstrates that you have the skills necessary for the job market. You can defend your positions. You can field interview questions. It shows you have the ability to communicate, and it shows the comprehensive exams are designed to be challenging in order to show that you have them. You're ready to actually complete a dissertation. The new comprehensive exam is LDRD 682. This replaces LDRD 680 and 681, which used to be a 2-quarter exam process. Now we have made it into a 1-quarter, 6-unit exam. There's 2 papers and an oral defense. The first paper is going to be a case study. The second paper is a personal leadership philosophy. You must make an 86.25 in order to pass the exam. You will defend the exam at the end of writing both papers. And again, the oral defense can help you to come in and actually improve the grade that you had on any of your written work by defending what you wrote during the oral defense. Comprehensive exams, here's some guidelines. Do not discuss the questions with other students or CityU faculty. Write independently. Cite most or all of the readings from your core or concentration classes. So we expect that you're going to be able to know the proper theories that you're going to need in order to pass this exam. We're also going to expect that you'll be then able to cite those and use those within your work. Now, are we expecting that you're going to remember everything that you went through? Of course not. But we're going to expect that you at least have a good familiarity with the literature and with what you did in class, that you can pull in sources and you can pull in the correct theories to use. Make sure your papers are accurate in APA style. Edit judiciously. Be comprehensive and succinct. Possible grade outcomes. You're either going to pass, you're going to need major revisions, which means that you have a good majority of what was needed, but you're missing some major component that would not allow you to pass the exam. We will allow you to go in and do a rewrite in order to address some of those concerns. No pass, so if your paper is such that you fail the comprehensive exam, you'll be referred to the doctoral student administrator or someone like your program chair in order to help you develop the skills needed to take the exam again. The second exam must be registered for within the following 3 quarters. There will be no charge for this second attempt. Students who fail the second attempt will be removed from the program with a possible option to convert their coursework to a master's degree. Submission rejection. If you turn in a paper that is not in APA format, that does not pass a review and safe assign, or the grammar is below standard, the exam will be returned and not graded until it's up to standard. Clearly, this is a professional paper. It's expected that you use all of your skills, all of what you've learned about paper formatting from the program in this final paper. So let's talk a little bit about case studies. Why are we using case studies? The main reason we're using a case study is because it demonstrates analytical thinking. It also demonstrates the ability to apply theoretical concepts to an actual real-world scenario. It requires you to synthesize material from multiple classes and from your experience. It's designed to push you outside your comfort zone and show that you're really an expert. We also expect to see that you can write a professional quality paper addressing an issue that you would find in the field. When you're completing a case study, it's very important that you understand what the problem the case is presenting. Now, sometimes the case studies might have questions. Those questions aren't part of your comprehensive exam. The questions included with the case study are often there to stimulate your thinking or to get you to be understanding a better understanding of the problem being presented. However, you are responsible for not sticking to those questions, but for following the rubric that goes with the comprehensive exam. Keep in mind that you don't want to add facts to the case. You don't want to make the case into your work. You don't want to make the case and add things to it like statistics or add in information that isn't presented in the case. Stick to the facts in the case and use those facts to create a recommendations, which is your ultimate goal here. You want to figure out what issues are known and what issues are unknown. What do you not know? What do you need to learn more about? That's part of what you're supposed to analyze here. Perhaps you haven't been given enough information to fully create a whole body of recommendations. So you'll have to create one or two recommendations, and then you're going to need to say what you would do to gather further data in order to make additional recommendations. The key here is that you understand what is presented in the case and what is missing from the case. And who would you want to bring in to help solve the problem? Who would you want to bring in to actually help you with this case? Would you want to get the management to further investigate some problems? Do you need to hire outside organizations? Are there stakeholders that need to be contacted? Think about that as well. You're going to really be using your systems thinking here to look at the whole picture. And does the content you've learned in class help you to solve the problems presented in the case? That's ultimately your goal, is to use the theories that you've learned in class to help solve the problems or to help make recommendations on what should be done based on what you found in the case. You really need to pay attention to the rubric because the rubric will have information that you're going to need to include within your case study. This includes a project management type table in order to talk about the steps, the next steps that are going to be needed by the organization. And you also want to be able to defend your position. So you want to be able to use the theory and the resources available to defend what you're saying. You can't just say, I think that they need to do a better job of managing the company. You have to say what management theory you expect them to use. What management theory are they using currently, and what management theory should they use in the future? What type of leadership are they presenting, and what type of leadership would be better, and why do you recommend that? What is the research telling us that means that this is a better thing for you to use? It's also really, really important to understand that the case study is a base, a foundation from which you're going to speculate about some things. Speculation does not mean adding additional information. Don't bring in data that doesn't exist. Now, that being said, if you're dealing with a situation that you're looking at a business and you want to bring in data from the world that might apply to this business, say that you're doing a case study about a shoe company and you want to go and you want to bring in a resource that talks about shoe sales in the United States and the trends in shoe sales, that would be fine to bring in that kind of information. However, don't make up information about the company. Don't say that the company's sales are going down if that wasn't presented in the actual case study. Remember to stick to what you've seen in the case study. That's important. Now for part 2 of this presentation, we're going to talk about academic writing. This is really a reboot of the academic writing that we presented in Residency 1. So I'm going to go ahead and add the Residency 1 video in here, which you can then fast forward through and determine what you want to see again and what you want to focus on a reminder of.